Hello, I'm Greg. I'm going to ask you to consider an argument for the acquisition of Greenland by the United States. It sounds ludicrous and ridiculous and somehow irrelevant. But if you think about the investment that the United States has made in Europe since the end of the Second World War, starting with the Marshall Plan, and then all of the decades of supporting NATO and providing the vast majority of that support, infrastructure, military, one could see Greenland as being some form of back pay for all of that. And in that sense, Europe could gift Greenland to the United States in light of all of that historical work that the United States has done on the part of especially the Western Europeans, and that would include the Scandinavians. You know, Jacob Bronowski, early on in his famous book, The Ascent of Man, draws a kind of disturbing but very apt analogy that he speaks about the Viking longboats, the warships of the era, the early Middle Ages, sailing and rowing their way up the rivers of Western Europe. For the people at that time, the equivalent of a Viking longboat today, a longship today, is a nuclear submarine. The appearance of such a vessel on the rivers in around the millennium meant death, meant the apocalypse. There were no prisoners. There was no quarter taken by the Scandinavians at the time. I would ask those countries today, where are the modern equivalents of the Viking warships today? Where are those nuclear submarines, tactical, strategic, or otherwise, that if Scandinavia and if Europe had those kinds of military items, then there would be no question that the U.S. somehow needed Greenland to defend the Arctic and indeed help continue to defend Europe. I guess I would want to say, just thinking about the nth degree of this, is that if you want to play Viking, you kind of have to, crew up. And what I don't see from Europe at this point, just looking at it historically, is the willingness to sort of be those Vikings rather than just try to emulate them or have some kind of nostalgia for them. It's a bit of a sham, in the same way that the exiled murderer Eric the Red created a bit of a sham when he named the giant icebound island in the first place in order to attract settlement. So just a few thoughts on that for you to think about today, and thank you again for listening.